Hey everybody, it's tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, cause we're gonna get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Diddy. I know y'all sick of Diddy stories, but we gotta do this one for Diddy, okay? Had to know what that was underneath my eye, but this is dedicated to Diddy. I learned a lot about lawsuits as a result of Diddy getting sued so many times and me looking at these lawsuits, going through them. And one thing I learned for sure is when someone sues you, you can't ignore. You have a time period in which you have to, at the very least, respond to the complaint. So one of Diddy's lawsuits, many are coming up where he has to respond, right? The most recent one that came up where he had to respond is where this Joy, what is her last name? Because Joy Dickinson Neal, he had to respond to that one. And what I also learned is when you go to sue somebody, let's just say they currently have a business that didn't exist for the time period in which you are making your complaint. So if I'm saying in 2010, someone violated me, but I'm suing them in 2024, and now they have 10 companies, I can't list those 10 companies on my lawsuit that did not exist in 2010. So I'm learning a lot. So in part of his response, first of all, he filed a motion to dismiss it, right? Because he said some statutes didn't exist in 1991, which were listed in her complaint, in her civil suit. Also, the biggest thing that Diddy and his lawyer is saying, or Diddy's lawyer is saying, is that, this civil suit is a money grab. Well, all civil suits are money grabs, right? Because in a civil suit, you cannot charge anybody, you're not charging anybody with anything criminal. You're not going to go to trial. So at the end, this person could perhaps go to jail. You're going to determine how much in damages based upon what you suing for you will receive. Now, there's some rookie mistakes on this Joyce Dickinson, complaint that I'm surprised her lawyers, didn't catch and didn't, write this thing up correctly. Another thing I learned about lawsuits is that, one wrong word or one misstep can get your whole case tossed out of the court. So you got to have a lawyer that is not just going to be starstruck when you come into their office and, thinking money, money, money. If I come into the office and say, listen, can you help me with my lawsuit? They're going to ask me, well, what is it about? Well, I want to sue Diddy. And maybe bells start going off in their head because everybody's thinking, well, we don't know the exact number that Cassie got, but everybody's believing, so am I, that the number was humongous. And so as a result, and maybe these lawyers, maybe the inside people do know, right? So, because lawyers talk, they go play golf. Yeah, I was a lawyer for Cassie. Yeah, no, we got XYZ dollars. Just don't say nothing, right? So, you come into this lawyer office and they think, oh, did he have to pay Cassie? So the things you're accusing him of, we know Cassie said he allegedly did said things, so we just automatically believe you, and they get to writing up the complaint, and they want to throw every business that he has on there, because when you add the business name to it, those businesses most likely have insurance policies that cover said situations, and you have the potential to get even more money. Listen, we're going to get more into this Diddy responding to the Joy Dickinson lawsuit right after this. All right, guys, we're going to get right into this. So, Diddy files motion to dismiss. Some statutes didn't exist in 1991. So Diddy wants to dismiss some of the claims in one of his SA cases, claiming he can't be sued under laws that didn't exist at the time of the alleged incident. And that is true. According to new docs obtained by TMZ, Diddy's lawyers are firing back at claims made by Joy Dickinson Neal, a woman who filed a suit against him in November, claiming he gave her substances and estayed her back in 1991. That seemed to be his MO. But can I tell you this? That's allegedly what Bill Cosby did to a lot of females when he allegedly violated them. It was like they had a drink. The drink allegedly had a substance in it. Next thing they know, they was drowsy, losing their mind, and woke up and they was SA. There's a new, and I talked about it earlier on my channel. There's a video I had where there's a Netflix docu-series, so to speak, right now, because it's based on true events, called Baby Reindeer, and it's a 7-part series. And pretty much the comedian talks about how he was SA by a director, and the director plied him with, a whole bunch of substances and then took advantage of him. Very, very sad. So it seems like in the entertainment industry, this is their go-to blueprint in order to violate someone. So I would say this to anybody: everybody has a right to follow their dreams. And I wouldn't say, oh, because the industry is so sinister, you shouldn't follow your dreams. But I would say, take note of the blueprint so you're aware. And any industry party that you go to, if you can't come in with your own bottle of water, so that you can keep yourself hydrated throughout the night, I would say don't go. And definitely don't, even sometimes, because sometimes these people at the bar are in cahoots with maybe someone within the party. So I would say drink nothing but whatever's in your bag. And if you get that thirsty, that's when you know it's time for you to leave said party. And don't eat none of the food either. So Joy filed 6 causes of action against Diddy, and now his team's claiming she can't sue him for several of those claims because the laws didn't exist when she says he assaulted her. Anybody dealing with allergies? Okay, it's allergy season for me, and I'm dealing with them. But anyway, for example, Dickinson Neal suing Diddy under the New York Services of Victims of Human Trafficking law, which Diddy's lawyers note wasn't in effect until 2007. So boom, they're like, throw that out. About 16 years after the incident took place. Diddy's also contested her claims under the New York State revenge porn law, codified in 2019. The New York City's Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Law, passed in 2000, and the 2016 New York City Revenge P law. So they're claiming a lot of laws that she's trying to lose. Excuse me. In her case, did not exist. So she can't have a case using those said laws because it didn't exist. Basically, Diddy lawyers are calling for claims under these laws to be dismissed with prejudice, though of course they're also maintaining their client didn't commit the alleged acts at all, including the SA she claims to have endured at his hands. Worth noting, the lawyers aren't making the same argument against the first 2 counts, common law claims for assault and battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress, that don't rely on specific statutes, because the arguments about the timing of certain statutes being passed don't apply to those claims, which are the heart of her case. So in other words, even though they may have got her on some technicalities, with some of her other pieces of her claim, they're saying that pretty much the heart of her claim, and your heartbeat, your heart stopped, you're gone, right? So, hey, if the heartbeat is still going in her claim, she still got a leg to stand on, all right? So let's continue here. One more issue Diddy's lawyers are raising. They say Joy can't sue Bad Boy Records or Bad Boy Entertainment like she's trying, because those 2 didn't exist yet either. And that's, listen, whether we like Diddy or not, he has the right to a lawyer, right? He has the right that his lawyers should do everything possible to fight back. and to fight for their client. And that is what they are currently doing. You know what's sad to me? It's like I always think to myself, how does someone become, who they are? Was it always in them from birth? And then something, triggered to make this side of them rise? Or is it that we all have this good side, this bad side, and most of us is balanced out, right? Or maybe for most of us, the good always overrides the bad. And maybe there's some people where the bad always overrides the good for the most part. How did this man become so sinister? Did someone do this to him? And as a result of it being done to him, he just became that person 10 times over? We'll never know. Unless, eventually Diddy maybe ends up spending a lifetime behind bars and decides to finally tell his truth and say, you know what, I apologize to all the people I harmed. And I just want to give you a backstory as to what happened to me. And not that I'm giving it an excuse, but I want you to know this happened to me. And perhaps that is how I ended up being, the monster that everybody sees me as. I don't know. I do know this, that there's a lot of years, a lot of times as I was going back through pictures of Diddy, always had these sunglasses on. And it's like, they said your soul is, you can be seen through someone's eyes. And it seems like he loved to cover up his eyes a lot. I mean, was he covering up the dark soul that lied within? But it also, many people saying that allegedly he's always kind of high on substances. So was he covering up that? I don't know. Either way, guys, we're going to see how all of these lawsuits kind of pan out. A lot of them are not looking good, because the things that he's trying to get most of them off, thrown out off of technicalities. And my thing is, if I didn't do something, yes, I would have my lawyer fight the technical parts of it, but I will also submit as much evidence possible to say, listen, throw this out, because look at this here. Anyway, guys, we're going to see how this pans out. What do you think about this dismissal part that he has submitted? Because like I said, they have a time period in which they have to respond to said lawsuits. How do you think these things are going to end up? And, many people are calling for criminal charges of some way, shape, or form to be brought against Diddy. Do you think that this will ever come to fruition? Do you think that he would ever be charged with anything criminally? I said it before and I'll say it again, that I think they're having a difficult time. I think the feds and everybody else involved, they kind of know all the things about all the things that Diddy is being accused of. But I think they're having a really difficult time tying him to said incidents, because if he probably was like a smart criminal, so to speak, I'll use those words, where everything that he did, he always managed to involve everybody else or other people, so that when you try to follow the breadcrumbs might lead back to him. But before you get to him and you want to charge him with said thing, you got about 10 other people in between that you would have to take down before you take down him, right? So he would be like, okay, Diva, you carry the substances. So yeah, when the people come and break in the home, I'm the one that got all the substances on me, right? And what I'm gonna say, they belong to Diddy. Like I would have to prove that to save myself, right? And we go out, a Diva, you hold the pow, right? And then if it's an unlicensed or unregistered pow, would I get caught and say, well, no, this belongs to Diddy? It is not licensed, right? Because when Diddy get his oil, he's gonna be like, I ain't tell Diva to hold that. That's not mine. Who's it registered to? So you see the trouble that they're having with tying said situations back to him. And then you got a lot of individuals that unfortunately were allegedly violated, who are afraid to speak. But you got to understand that even when the person is a non-high profile figure, there are everyday people, so to speak, that get violated, who are afraid to mention or tell who their violator was. So imagine if you're just afraid, period, to tell, but now you have this high profile person and you got to say to the world that this is who did it to me. Because before this whole Cassie situation, anybody that would have probably came out and said Diddy did XYZ to me, the public probably would have turned against them, because it still happens to this day. There are some figures and some people, when people say, oh, so and so did something to me, they're like, oh my God, that's a money grab, that person's a liar, they just, they're a hater, whatever. For instance, the Lizzo situation. It's some celebrities that, yeah, we go by the rule, innocent until proven guilty, and there's other ones that are guilty until proven innocent. So with the Lizzo situation, they're saying, oh, those girls lied, oh, those girls this, oh, those girls that. Y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.